Projecting you onto a screen. Wait, I'm gonna show you, and you will see what the view is. That's you. That's us. This is the kitchen.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, the network connection is like not the best. It was better like 5 minutes ago, but
yeah, comes and goes, right?
yeah. I don't know what I'm doing.
Me neither. I'm just like going in there.
I'm gonna use you as my.
This one's a bit more low key.
I'm gonna do like cockroachy mustache. Does it work, or did I just make a fool out of myself? It's just, are the people here waiting, or they're doing something else?
Nice. Can you also do?
Which one you want?
It's just because
Pink is good.
This one.
Yeah.
Where? Like in?
Yeah.
Oh, let's draw something different. Wait.
Yeah.
So can you hear me now, Nicole? When it's not so loud?
It's warm up. It's fine.
Okay. We're gonna start in a few minutes, so you can start coming in. Yeah.
Let's do it. They're gonna clean it out and they'll give it to us in about 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
Yes. We need the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is
I have the pantry there or not? Can we share?
I mean, it's up to you. The glasses aren't the problem.
And now officially, really starting the Glitter Kitchen workshop. So thanks for everyone who showed up. It's part of the cluster Critical Histories of Technology. And you might be wondering, what has glitter to do with technology? But we are here to tell you that and explain you and talk to you and explore the possibilities of thinking material technologies together. So my name is Marianna Szczygielska. I'm a historian of science, and normally I actually work on non-human animals, not on plastics or any kind of materials like that. But I will explain you how I got to thinking about plastics and glitter in a moment. Baldeep, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Baldeep. What else do I say?
What do you do? What do you do?
My pronouns are they, them, and I write about historical infrastructural projects and what kind of afterlives those projects develop. And I also think a lot about speed of work, and how do we protect slow workers under capitalism. Because it's not going away anytime soon, so what are we going to do about it?
And this workshop is also facilitated by Selen and Han, who's here. We've been working on it together, so even though they're kind of like in the background right now, they're not, because without them we couldn't have done it. And last but not least, we are also welcomed here by the head on the screen, which is Nicole Seymour. Hi Nicole, thank you for being with us. I have prepared a short introduction of who you are, taken from your website, so correct me if I'm wrong. But Nicole Seymour works in the environmental humanities, asking how literature and other cultural forms, from documentary film to stand-up comedy, mediate our relationship to the environmental crisis. She's an associate professor in California State University, Fullerton. So right now it's around 8 something in the morning in California, so thank you so much for waking up so early to join us in the afternoon in Berlin. And Nicole's first book, Strange Natures, Futurity, Empathy, and the Queer Ecological Imaginations, rereads the well-known queer novels and films as ecologically minded. Her second book, Bad Environmentalism, Affect and Dissent in the Ecological Age, recuperates the irreverent and anti-sentimental expressions of environmentalists. And I very much encourage you to read those books. But she's also recently authored another book on glitter.
Oh, cool.
Solely on glitter.
I mean, when we experimented with the recipes as a team, when we came up with the concept of this event, we also tried out recipes that use gelatina. It's gelatin, right?
Gelatin, yeah.
Not halal.
This did not go so well because gelatin is very stinky. And it was a bit of a struggle. is that they need a refining process. So it depends on the marketing. Like some fancy salts will tell you where it was mined, but it won't tell you where it was refined or from where it was marketed, right? We're only one phase of the supply chain is ever exposed to us. If that's not just sugar and salt, that's all of it. It's the phase that's gonna make it the most easier to market.
A group word, which is actually Germanic. But anyway, a little less nerdy. Fast forward to 1934, and that's when the first commercial glitter was produced. So glitter becoming a noun, right? Not just a noun, but a product. And the guy that created it was named Harry Rushman, and he had a company called Meadowbrook Inventions, and it actually still exists, and it's one of the foremost producers of glitter. So yeah, I like to think of glitter as, like I said, more of a quality than an actual product because it's been made of so many different things over time. I heard someone mention mica or mica. Again, if you're thinking of glitter as just something that glitters, we could go all the way back, like tens of thousands of years to like cave paintings and say that people were using glitter, right? Using mica for cave paintings. We can think about the ancient Egyptians using pyrite, for makeup and stuff like that. So, yeah, the question of what is glitter is actually, as I was reading this book, it's actually very complicated.
Yeah, it's not so easy at all to answer.
Commercial bio glitter is usually still 8% plastic rather than, so it's much less plastic than the regular glitter, but it still has a little bit of plastic. One last fact, if you're really wanting to be totally plastic free, there is Elira that has no plastic whatsoever, also no aluminum, and no carmine, because carmine is not vegan, that's that red pigment. But then what you end up with is something that's more like pearlescent rather than shiny, right? Because it doesn't have the aluminum. So this depends on what you're going for and what amount of plastic you can allow in your life. That sort of determines what choices you're going to make. So yeah, that's what glitter is. It's a lot of different things.
1941 in England, but the larger scale manufacturer started in this DuPont in America as Mylar and as Lavsan in the USSR. But sometimes, apparently glitter is sometimes also made from the PVC. I don't know if you also encountered that in your research. Polyvinyl chloride. That's easier to.
Yeah.
PVC is also ever present. And it has a kind of longer history because it was first synthesized in Germany in 1872 by a chemist known as Eugene Baumann, but it was not usable. It was just kind of like powder form, but they didn't know yet how to use it to make Kunststoff really. So only in the 1926 it was plasticized. So you need a plasticizer medium in order to make it into a plastic that can be then used into making of commercial production, and that also happened in the US. So the big production of vinyl, the PVC, known as vinyl sometimes, is also connected somehow to American industry. Oh yeah, some people are. So I'm sorry, you're gonna hear this again. I'm gonna mention, because I'm really into early plastics that were not yet based on oil, because I'm researching non-human animals. And more specifically, I'm researching zoos, and more specifically, I'm researching elephants. And with elephants, what is connected is trade in ivory. And do you know what is ivory, like as a material?
Bone.
Cellulose.
Is it bone?
No.
It's the tooth. It's a tooth. Yes. I mean, a lot of people think it's a bone also because in German it's Elfenbein, and in many languages it has the name bone in it because it kind of looks like a bone, but it's a tooth. And it was a very product that was very much used almost everywhere in bourgeois households to make a lot of things that we now associate with plastic, like toothbrush holders, like cutlery handles, buttons, little, cosmetic boxes. A lot of those things were actually connected to cosmetics and leisure time. Which is also interesting, and it was a preferred material because of its material qualities. It's very elastic and it's very tough. So you can carve in it in intricate detail. It's very shiny as well. It has the shine if you polish it to high shine. And then basically they started to think about a substitute for ivory, and that's how first thermoplastics came about. And I have a small, again, I will do my demonstration. So I was in a thrift shop. Sorry for people who already heard this story. I love this, so I'm going to repeat it, and you haven't heard it yet. So I've been to the thrift shop and I found these knife handles that were manufactured in Sheffield. And Sheffield in England was one of the biggest manufacturers of cutlery handles made out of ivory. But in the 20s, when they came up with those first plastics, they actually quickly, in the same factories where they were doing stuff made out of ivory, they would do the stuff from plastic. So I thought this is ivory because it's a super good imitation of it, but in fact it's plastic, dude. It became much more commercial, and it's kind of like ivory had this idea of this being a valuable material, and then plastic is the opposite, of nature. So this is kind of like the interesting thing. So those lines that I'm mentioning are important because it's a very characteristic thing of elephantine ivory, that you have these lines that are actually the dentinal tubules that allow the tooth to grow. And it's like, elephant tusks can be up to 3 meters high, so they're really ginormous, and those tubules are like carrying the nutrients to the end of the tusk as it's growing. And when you cut it transversely, you can see those lines or the characteristic like chevron pattern. And the first plastics were trying to imitate that. I tell you that our eco glitter will be colorful, but it doesn't reflect like the plastic thing. Yeah. We did experiments with it, and it gives you the color, but the shine, we couldn't get it. And you have the instructions there. You bake it for 10 minutes in about 170 degrees in your oven, both the salt one and the sugar one.
Quality and pleasure are important, given the sort of blank landscape for queer guides and other things across the planet. And I think that's sort of led into these various sort of instances of glitter. Probably a couple years after that, but we keep seeing glitter being reappropriated, not just by queer groups, but also feminist groups, anti-racist groups. So I talk in the book about this movement in Mexico called the Glitter Revolution, where a lot of feminists were, acting out against femicides and other gender-based violence in Mexico, and we're making their own glitter, just like you guys were, making pink glitter, covering themselves in glitter, throwing glitter in the faces of politicians. And in Scotland, there was a demonstration called Glitter Against Fascism, which is sort of a pro-migrant demonstration. And so again, this idea that glitter draws attention, it draws visibility, but also connects activism with pleasure, which is also something I talk about in the book, right? That activism needs to be something enjoyable, not just something like grim and this is our duty, we have to find pleasure in doing it. So to me, that's the symbolic aspect of using it in protestism.
Yeah. Some questions or things you would like to share now? It works?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, it's not a super saturated color, obviously, but I think it's working. What do you think?
Especially targeting like specific materials, especially ones that are connected to let's say queer community, as you're saying. It's a bit inflated, that because I love this part in your book, Nicole, when you're writing that people are somehow not so concerned about microplastics from their Patagonia fleece jackets, that usually very ecologically minded people wear. And
Yes.
There's been some color experimentation. Oh, this is a different color. This is
It's a little bit purple.
Yeah. Would you like to add anything or?
Thank you.
I think we're done. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you. Thanks for joining us from far. Thank you for a fabulous glitter face too.
My pleasure. All right, bye.
Ciao.